What is going on, everybody? It's your boy REEZ here on the Dynasty Recall Podcast, dropping more knowledge to help you win your Dynasty leagues. It's the catchphrase if y'all didn't know. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in here on the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. Currently going through free agency. It's a big topic. A lot of weird contracts for me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Drinking this IPA from Deschutes. There you go. Got to get in the picture, right? Deschutes. Hazy IPA. It's about 7%. Squeezy Rider West Coast IPA. Super delicious. If you ever get the chance, give it a shot. Training for my sponsorships. But what a week. Last time we talked about Russ and Carson Wentz, the fallout from all that. Now that I've had some time to think about it, I don't have my knee-jerk reaction. It doesn't move the needle for me a lot with Russ, that whole trade. He's somewhere around 10. 8, 9, 10, 11. Definitely above 12. I think I would be taking him in the first round of startups towards the end of the first round. Maybe second round. No, I wouldn't take him in the first round. I'm still taking Matt Stafford over Russ. So that's just where I'm at. I am a Rams fan, so maybe that's a little biased. I'll put a poll out on Twitter. Yep. I'll put a poll out on Twitter about it a little bit later. So some of the big names still yet to sign. We got Allen Robinson, we got Juju. We got a couple of running backs, Rashad Penny, Uncle Leonard Fournette. We'll see what happens with him. Hopefully, Tom Brady's back, so he'll possibly be back with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have a lot of shares of Lenny. I can never seem to get what I value him at. And, towards the season for a contender, you should be looking for a first-round pick. So if I can get a first-round pick for him, I'll move him. But if I can't get a first-round pick, then, well, I'm more than content with letting Leonard Fournette die on my bench. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. Just the production you get. He doesn't have a whole lot of tread on his tires, so fire him up as an RB2 or even a flex and get RB1-ish production. I'll take that all day. But it's been a good weekend, man. Hanging out with the family, my daughter, just trying to keep up with the free agency. Christian Kirk got signed. I think he got $84 million, if I'm not mistaken. 84. It's a little ridiculous. I don't think he's not an X. He's a slot wide receiver, and I just don't see the production there. Let me pull up real quick, allow you guys to see it. But here we go. He had a solid year. He almost had 1,000 yards, 100 targets, and 5 tutties. He did okay. I mean, he finished as the wide receiver 26. He's getting drafted around 105. We'll see how his value changes through ADP in the coming season. But he's a solid player, don't get me wrong. I don't believe he is worth $84 million. I would much rather pick somebody up in the draft. Spend the second round pick on a receiver. I mean, it frees you up to not have to do that. I see Jaguars going O-line in the first round. And then defense. They need to shore up that defense. They made a lot of acquisitions. They picked up Brandon Scherf. So Trevor Lawrence is looking good. I feel comfortable enough to move Trevor Lawrence into the QB 13-12, high in QB2, low in QB1. I think he's going to be great. He's got a lot of promise, generational talent. I'm hearing that thrown out a lot. I haven't been super big on him since, after his junior year of college. I think I don't think he really progressed at a good rate. He kind of was just thrown into the offense, and he was a great talent, but I didn't see him get much better at anything. But that's just me. I didn't watch a whole lot of tape in college. I'm not a tape watcher. I'm not a film guy like that. And I haven't gone into Devy. Maybe one day I'll take a little dive and start a league. Me and Nick have been trying to get into a Devy league, and whenever we get the time. We got one buddy of ours that he's a Devy guy. Hopefully I can get him on the podcast at some point, but Devy is definitely, I would say, his specialty. Allen Robinson, that's probably the biggest name, biggest domino still to fall, of course, beyond Deshaun Watson. It looks like the Browns, the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints are the only ones in the mix for Deshaun Watson. My money, if I had to guess, would be on Carolina or Cleveland. I have a few Amari Cooper shares, so I'd love to see him go to Cleveland and boost those up. I've also got a good amount of DJ Moore shares, so either or, I'm good with that. I don't see the Falcons. I just don't understand why he would want to go to the Falcons. Yes, they're in the NFC South, and the NFC South is terrible, but who are you throwing the ball to? Olamide Zaccheaus and Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is going to be the number one tight end in fantasy if he goes to Atlanta next year. He's already the number one Dynasty tight end. I'm talking production-wise, of course. But Allen Robinson. Let's get back to the task at hand. Let's pull him up on Player Profiler. Allen Robinson is... I don't know if he's waiting on Deshaun Watson to sign or what's going on with this guy. Whoever gets him, they're getting a talent. When he gets, 2020, obviously 2021 wasn't a great year. Obviously 2021 wasn't a great year for him. 2020, 151 targets. 2019, 153 targets. And over 1,100 yards in both years, with 7 and 6 respectively. I'm not gonna go through his whole career, but the guy can play. All right, don't let last season fool you. The guy can play. He is a buy. All right, so if you have no shares, go out and get you a share before he signs with somebody. Making an exploding offer if you're on Sleeper. I'm staying up to date on Twitter just in case if any news drops. The Twitter Dynasty family will be sure to post it. Twitter's kind of going crazy. Everybody's just waiting for Deshaun Watson or any big news. Yeah. I know some people wanted A-Rob to go back to Jacksonville. It wouldn't be a bad idea, just they've already spent too much money this free agency. I don't know if Allen Robinson's going to be looking for a payday or if he's going to be looking for a contender, but we're all anxious to find out. Um, I'm holding in all leagues. If you can hold him. If you can buy him. Do not sell if you own him, and just wait it out because he's going to command a first round value whenever he signs. Which, if Deshaun Watson went to Cleveland, then it could be Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, and Allen Robinson, Nick Chubb. Oh, man. The salary cap's a myth. So they'll figure out a way to work it. Some big winners from this free agency. You got to say Christian Kirk. He's gained some value. Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is somebody I wanted to talk about. Yes, he's going into his 31st season, but he just got a 3-year extension. The guy's an athlete, a great one. God, I got a cat. Guys. Cat just ran over the keyboard. I blame my wife. Zach Ertz had 763 yards last year, 74 receptions. Of course, he split half that time between Philly and Arizona, just about half. But fire him up. Are you yes, he's at the end of his career, towards the end of his career. He's not young, but for the next 2 years, yeah, I'll buy Zach Ertz, and it shouldn't cost you no more than a second round pick. If not, maybe a player swap for whoever holds him, their team need. But oh yeah, Zach Ertz is a buy. Indirectly, Rondale Moore, with Christian Kirk out of the picture. Rondale Moore, fire him up as a wide receiver too. I know my man Nick loves him some Rondale Moore. He has him in just about every league that we're in together. But Rondale Moore is looking poised to have a big year. Most leagues, I believe he was going early second, late first in rookie drafts. If somebody offered me a second round pick for Rondale Moore, I wouldn't take it. Any first, let's just say 112. 112 for Rondale Moore, I would probably do it because it's just so hard for me to really get on the Rondale train. The guy is 5'7", 180. Yes, he's young, but I don't see him being a star, and I'd rather take my shot on, one of the receivers coming out. They all look to be great contributors. Who knows how long Rondale will last in the league given his size. Okay, y'all don't need to see Rondale anymore. Here's my beautiful face. But, yeah, another big name, Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju still, we haven't heard any word on Juju. I haven't. Not that he's talking to anybody or any team. I have no indication of where he could go. Maybe the Chiefs. But Juju's a hold. I'm holding Juju. I bought a lot of Juju just to, I'm going to sell him after free agency. I'm going to let the hype build a little bit, and then I'm going to sell. I don't think he's that guy. I think he was propped up by Antonio Brown. And he just hasn't quite been that dynamic receiver that we all thought he could be after the 2018 season, where he had 1,400 yards. Even with 128 targets, 97 receptions, he only had 830 yards. So I just don't think. Well, I really hope he doesn't re-sign with Pittsburgh. I heard that may be the case, but nobody really knows. But with the emergence of Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, it just doesn't make sense. He's a wide receiver 2. He's not a wide receiver 3. Deontay Johnson is the man. If you guys don't have no shares of Deontay Johnson, go get you some. Go get some. Chase Claypool, meh. I'm not huge on Chase Claypool. I think I have like 2 shares across my 13 leagues. Speaking of shares, if anybody's doing a startup, anybody looking for somebody for a startup, hit me up. Dang, I almost forgot. Follow me on Twitter at @FF_REEZ. Follow me on Twitter. Shoot me a DM. I pretty much only do sleeper at this point, just to consolidate all my leagues. But if you're interested in getting started in Dynasty, or I'm always looking for some high competition. If you think you're pretty good, okay, let's get in the league together. I like to think I'm decent. I don't think I'm the best. I'm by no means am I an expert. I'm just a guy who likes to share his opinions. I think my opinions are pretty solid. Oh, Juju, man. I'm going through his stats right now, and I mean, he was hurt last year, so blame it on the injury. Who else, man? Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow stock is up. He hasn't really passed anybody for me. There we go. He hasn't passed anybody for me as far as ADP. He's not in my top 5, just on the outside. He's probably QB6. They're shoring up that offensive line. It's looking good. Cincinnati is going to be a force to be reckoned with for, a few years. Oh, man, on the topic of Juju, going back, sorry, that's just how my mind works. It's weird. Mitch Trubisky to the Steelers. I mean, I kind of saw that coming. I'm not going to pretend to be super surprised. Trubisky is not a bad quarterback. I think he got a bad rap over there in Chicago. Matt Nagy is the worst. I hope he never gets a head coaching job again. Really? Cats, man. I hope he never gets another head coaching job again to ruin any quarterback's life. Trubisky's going to be solid. He'll be mid QB2, somewhere around QB 20-ish, 20 to 16, somewhere around there. I sold him for Hunter Renfrow straight up in one of my leagues. I'm super happy. I needed the wide receiver depth after Amari Cooper went to Cleveland, and the uncertainty is before Cleveland emerged as a contender for Deshaun Watson. But, I'm still happy. I still have Amari Cooper, so worst comes to worst, I'll trade a pick. I have the 105 in that league. Worst comes to worst, I can trade a pick for QB3. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to try to pull that league up. Got to go to sleeper. It was a different strategy for me. I went 2 elite quarterbacks, traded up to get the 102. I already had the 105 in the startup. And it was interesting. So we'll run through my lineup real quick. Put in the comments what you think. I'm always interested in feedback and critiques. All right, so here we are. Starting off, I traded my 2, 4, and 9 startup picks to get the 102. Took Pat Mahomes. I traded my 23 first for Aaron Jones. Traded into the 9, I believe. Into the 9 for Aaron Jones. J.K. Dobbins, I took that with the 3-8. Or the 3-5, I'm sorry. 3-5. Deontay Johnson. I don't know how I got him. I got him in the 5th, I believe. And that's just value I cannot pass up. I just don't have it in me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I took Deontay with my 505. Traded Trubisky for Hunter Renfrow. Took Dallas Goedert with the 705. My 6. Who did I take in the 6th? Was it Aaron Jones? Nope, I took him in the 7th. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't take Amari Cooper that early. Took Amari Cooper in the 8th. A-Rob in the 10th is going to be a steal. Of course, I've already covered Allen Robinson. But a win now team, I'm looking to win the championship this year. I think I've got a great chance. This is a 12-team super flex, tied in premium. And I still have the 105. I think with my 6, I took the 105. Adam Thielen, he should still have a pretty good year. Lamar Jackson with my 5th. If you're top 5 in a super flex, if you're in the top 5 and you're not taking a quarterback, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe 6. All right. I've got Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, Corey Davis is a sneaky buy. Sorry, I'm getting notifications from Twitter. I'm waiting for Deshaun Watson. So, obviously, I need some running back help. Hoping to be able to trade my 105 for a running back. I'm not looking to do that right now, but before the draft, obviously. And, we'll see how it goes. I think this is a championship contender. Hunter Renfrow gives me a safe floor. Deontay Johnson, he can be a wide receiver 1 or a high-end wide receiver 2. Allen Robinson can finish as a wide receiver 2. Thielen can finish as a wide receiver 2. Obviously, Renfrow can finish as a wide receiver. This team has a lot of potential, I think. Dallas Goedert to avoid any possible positional disadvantages. J.K. Dobbins can be a stud. I have him in my top 10 running backs. Aaron Jones, he'll probably finish as an RB2, but still be serviceable. And then just let Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson ride me to the championship. But that's just one of my team builds I was playing around with. It's a fairly cheap league. It's only a $5 league. But there's some pretty solid players in here. I'm not going to run through the whole league right now. But let me know what you think in the comments. Shoot me a DM. I'm always open to different views and criticisms. And, maybe I can always do something better. But yeah, I was super happy to trade Trubisky for Renfrow to help shore up the wide receiver room. Obviously, I have Cooper and Cooks, but just in case, I don't know what's going on in Houston. And Renfrow should command a lot of targets, so I'm okay with his floor. It's fairly safe. I'm not expecting any 30-point games out of Renfrow, but give me that 12 points a game. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't think he'll have a wide receiver 1 year, but yeah, wide receiver 2, yeah, give me that. Dang, what else happened? Julio Jones is getting released. That just came in today. I mean, it doesn't really do anything for me. I have 0 Julio Jones shares. He was a great distraction from AJ Brown when he was on the field, but he's not really fantasy relevant anymore. Yes. So I'm going through my Twitter and just looking at a couple questions. Who would you rather have at quarterback next season, Russell Westbrook or Matt Stafford? Give me Matt Stafford all day. I've already covered that. He's tied to McVay, and as long as he's tied to McVay, fire him up as a quarterback 1. Mid to high. Not a QB 12. I'm talking QB 6, 7 to QB 3. I don't think he'll finish top 2. Some buys, players that I'm currently buying. This is on my Twitter profile. I just have a terrible memory sometimes, but players I'm currently buying. Give me Darren Waller. Darren Waller is due to have a bounce back year. I've seen him go in the 7th or 8th of a startup draft, which is incredible value. I wish I would have went for him, but I believe I took Mark Andrews in that league. So I had my tight end position covered. Yeah, he's due for a bounce back year. Josh McDaniels, he had, of course, Gronk over there in New England, and he made him a star. Maybe that was Tom Brady. But nonetheless, the tight end and the slot receiver, a part of that offense, is going to produce fairly well. So give me Darren Waller and give me Hunter Renfrow. Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon is super cheap. I bought him for a 3rd-round pick in the league. And with the unknown of the San Francisco backfield, do they want to keep Elijah Mitchell? Do they want to keep handing him the ball and let him be the workhorse? Or, Elijah Mitchell had some trouble with injuries. So maybe Trey Sermon kind of gets a shot this year. He's worth the buy is what I'm saying for a 3rd-round pick. I'm not expecting him to break my lineup, but for a 3rd-round pick, yeah, it's worth the flyer with that San Francisco backfield. Maybe he'll get a decent value bump this year, and I can sell him for, a mid to early 2nd. Just trying to increase the value of your team as a whole. It's not about, hitting on every pick, but just slowly increasing value of your team. Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry got released. You can get him for pennies on the dollar. Probably get him for a mid-2nd. This is if you're a contender. If you're looking to compete for a championship, Jarvis Landry has, a flex 2, flex 3, depending on how many flexes you have. Yeah. I think he's going to put himself in a much better situation than he had in Cleveland. Obviously learned his lesson about types of offenses. I mean, I would like to assume he has. About types of offenses, and that beer's done. This next one, Ground Out, Hazy IPA from Mike Hess. That's down in San Diego. That's my home base. That's where I'm set up. Oh, man. Too much bubbles. Bubbling over. Where was I? Distracted by the beer. But Jarvis Landry he's a good buy for, a late 2nd or something. Throw him into the back end of your lineup and, let the guy work. He's a PPR monster. He gets catches, what he does. And makes stuff happen. He's a great asset to your team. If you can get him for the cheap. If somebody's just looking to unload Jarvis Landry, they've had enough of him. They had high expectations and they're ready to offload him. Right now, probably may not be the best time. You might already missed your window. But I'd send out some feelers. Why not? See what happens. Didn't do my hair today, so it's looking a little rough. But yeah. Oh. Let me go back on the Discord. Nick had a couple things he wanted me to talk about today. Colts have finalized a trade. Oh, to send Carson Wentz. So Washington receives a second, a third, and a conditional third. Or the Colts receive a second, a third, and a conditional third. Nah, not a bad trade. It's Wednesday, so all the trades are finally finalizing in the NFL. And Russell Gage. Russell Gage went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 3-year, $30 million deal. And I am devastated, guys. I'm completely and utterly devastated. I had so many shares of Tyler Johnson, and I was looking forward to him breaking out. This is before Tom Brady retired and everything. I was expecting... I don't know what I was expecting. I knew Antonio Brown was going to be on the team this year. I thought Godwin would leave until he got hurt. I figured he was going to chase the money because why not? But sometimes things just don't work out as planned. So if you had any shares of James Darden, if you have any shares of Tyler Johnson, you can just sell them, drop them. They're droppable at this point. Oh man, I was really hoping that one would hit and I would look like a genius. At least to, people I'm in multiple leagues with. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Go ahead and drop Tyler Johnson. Russell Gage, he got a 3-year deal. So he's worth a pickup. It remains to be seen how involved he'll be in the offense. Great slot option. It's so much disappointment, guys. Russell Gage is worth a buy. I don't know. I've never tried to acquire Russell Gage before, so I would have to, give me some time. Let me go through Twitter and let me put some feelers out and see what people are comfortable paying for. If you own Russell Gage anywhere, shoot me a DM, comment, and what would it take to move him? Attached to Tom Brady, I assume it would take a good amount. Beyond Russell Gage, the Jets didn't sign anybody in free agency. Granted, there's still a few running backs on the market, but they re-signed Tevin Coleman, which tells me I don't believe they're gonna try to sign anybody else. So, thumbs up for Michael Carter. Michael Carter, go buy him. He was looking to take over the backfield towards the end of the year last year. And, he got hurt, but I'd pay a first for Michael Carter right now. I wouldn't. If someone offered me the trade, I would take it. But I'm not looking to buy Michael Carter right now. Wait until after the draft. Make sure they don't pick up a running back in the draft. And then see how it affects. But if you have Michael Carter, he's a solid hold. He's looking good. If they don't pick up another running back, lock him in as your RB2. He's gonna look great. He looked great last year. Yeah, Nick's making fun of me. Currently, Nick's making fun of me for my Tyler Johnson shares, even though I'm devastated. James Conner. James Conner's a sell. Sell him. I'm looking to get a first. He got it locked up on a 3-year deal. But sell him before the draft. I think Arizona will not go into the year with James Conner and Eno Benjamin as their, two-headed monster. I think they'll draft somebody this year and make Eno compete. James Conner is obviously the primary option. He had a great year last year. Use that. He's going to regress. I think he had like 15 touchdowns or something. It was crazy. But, I'm also okay with holding. Conner is a little injury prone. The closer you get to the season, the more people need running backs. And I'm not selling unless I can get a first. Personally. Because of a 3-year deal. If it had been anything less, I'll take an early second. Cardinals made some type of commitment to him. And, I'm assuming they planned on using him. I talked about last week, Cortland Sutton. And I finally sold him for a 23 first. I traded Sutton and a late third for like the 310 for a 23 first. And felt so good. Felt so good because it's the 23 first is likely mid. I don't think it'll be a late unless the guy makes, a couple of moves. I don't think he has the quarterbacks to, for it to be a late first. Neither do I, though. But I plan on using my 23 first and to trade up for a quarterback. Probably get Stafford, honestly. We'll see how it goes. But that's about it today, guys. Keep your eyes open. I hate cats. That's about it for today, guys. Follow me on Twitter at ff_REEZ. Always trying to help people out. Shoot me a DM. If you want some advice on your fantasy team, or advice in general, trade advice. I'm always looking to help people out. Subscribe on YouTube, Dynasty Recall Podcast. Like, comment, share with friends. Help us get out there and reach some people and really try to get more involved in the industry. And that's about it for today, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening to my nonsense. But have a good one. Peace.